Welcome to the Get to Know the Interface tutorial. In this tutorial we'll take a look at the environment of Easy Digital Album. You'll see the panels, the forms and all the tools you are going to use to design your albums. So, let's get started. When you open Easy Digital Album, the first form that you see is the Albums form. This form allows you to create new albums and to manage the albums you have already created. You can create a new album by clicking on the New Album button. But for this tutorial let's open an album, which I have already create. You'll learn everything about the Albums form in the related tutorial. I select the album I want to open on the list and click on the Open Album button, or simply double-click on it. Okay, now let's navigate to the Import Organize panel, which is the panel for importing and managing our images. Every time you create a new album you automatically come to this panel, to import and organize your images. Let's take a look on this panel. On the right side you will see the images you have imported. In our case I have created two groups already. The first is called Nick and Jennifer and the second one is Second Day. On the left side is the metadata panel where you can see all the metadata of your images, along with the labels and ratings you have applied to them. And on the bottom left side is your preview panel. If you look on the images you will see that some of them have color labels. EDA will recognize both the color labels and the ratings you have applied on another application. But you can also apply color labels in the software. We will learn everything about this panel in the related tutorial. Now, let's proceed to the Create Export panel. This is the panel where all the magic happens. On the right side of the panel, there is a tab group. In the first tab are your groups of images as you have organized them in the Import Organize panel. Your second tab is the Properties, from which you can apply and modify properties to your images and layers. The third tab is your Graphics, that you can add on new layouts. On the center of the panel is a blank page, where you create your layouts. On the bottom side are the pages you create. You can access them by clicking at the arrow to open or close the Pages panel. On the top side are your templates and you can also open and close the Templates panel with the top arrow. And under the top menu are your alignment options along with the selection and the Add Layers menus. As you can see, there is no template at the moment. Let's drag some images on the page to see what happens. I'll drag one image. You see that the image is placed on the page at a specific position. Now let's drag a second image. You see that the layout is changing. Now if I press the page down key on our keyboard, the layout changes every time I press this key. If I click on the templates arrow, to open them, you can see that every time I press the page down key, a new template is loaded. I can also click on any template on the panel to load it on the page. As you can see there is a big number of templates for this image combination, 30 templates. Okay, now let's create a layout and save it. On the bottom side of the tab group are your sorting filters. You can filter the images by color label, rating, width, height, or whether they have been used or not. I will filter them by the color label, red. I'll drag these images on the page, and now we have a layout. I'll select a different template, like this one. I think it suits better with the kind of images that I have. I'll click and zoom and move the images inside their frames, to where I want. I believe it's better this way. Now, I'll go to our Properties tab. I will first select the images, with the selection tool and add a stroke and a shadow to them. Next, I'll also add a color to our page, and a background. First I'll pick a color, by using the color picker, from somewhere around here. Okay, I think I like this color. Now let's select our background. I open my Backgrounds folder, and pick one that I like. Let's go for this one. From the background options, I'll choose the stretch, as the fitting method, and next I am going to reduce its opacity, so we can see our background color from beneath. I think it's okay. Now that I am giving a second look at it, I don't really like the shadow on the images. I'll simply select them again with the selection tool and remove the shadow. Okay, that's great. I click on the Save button, and save the layout. I have now created my first page. You repeat this process to create all the pages for our album. And when you finish with the design, you can export them for print. To do that just click on the Export Pages button, to the top right of our panel. This is our export form. From this form you export your pages. You can export them as JPEGs, or TIFF, or PDF or native PSD files, with every image on its own layer, with the styles you have applied in the software. Well, that's it for this tutorial. Please make sure to watch all the tutorials to get to know all the necessary details, to speed up the process of creating your albums.